Yo, what is going on, COD Familia? It is your boy BN, aka Mr. Kingdom Builder, and today I have an exciting one for you. We are going to be going through the V1.0.30 patch notes titled Depths of Winter. Let's go ahead and jump right in. As always, if you enjoy the content, make sure you throw us up because it helps out a lot. So here we go. Update's going to be kicking off on the 13th of September, so as of today, that's a week from now. It's pretty standard with what we usually get. Season 1, or we should say number 1, Season of Strife Depths of Winter now available. So maybe this is going to be a new storyline outside of whatever the Calling of Courage, right? That's the current one? I can't remember these things. Heeding the Call of Belleron, lords from across the realms have set out from, a little bit of a HTML code issue, that's okay, from 6 regions, wow, interesting, of Belleron, to do battle with the frost dragon Zeneros in the Depths of Winter. Players who have played 3 or more seasons will be able to register for Season of Strife, Depths of Winter, once they return to their home realm at the end of the current season. Interesting. So you're going to have 6 regions, which is indicative of the first variation for Belleron season map, where we ended up having those clear west and east side distinctions. And then they ended up, I believe, adjusting that to 4 regions that we currently have on the Belleron or the SB2 map, though I'd have to go and double check, at least from what I recall. Then we get to Depths of Winter features. Okay, 1-1. Biting frost has descended across smoothing crops and experience epic warfare in an all-new map based on the land of Belleron. Okay, so maybe that means they're going to be doing some adjustments. I still like the kind of pyramid idea of them going bottom up, and then compared to it being a circle. That we see in the Tamaris map. So will they just make some general adjustments? I think having some neutral zones that they couldn't, and maybe we'll do a drawing at some point, but if they're going to do it and it's going to be different, okay, that could be cool. We'll have to wait and see how that looks. New season talents, as usual. Mass warfare. Players can create infantry and cavalry army groups and invite other lords to join them and fight shoulder to shoulder. Interesting! So does this mean that we're going to have more kind of role specializations? And this is something that we talked about very early on in the game, where my thing was, and you might hear me say this often, like I would love for there to kind of be this Rohirrim, right? Mustering the Rohirrim type of thing from LOTR, where you basically just have, like 10 or 20 players or however many. Or maybe you have an entire alliance that is just like, we're just all cav. And then maybe you have another alliance who's all infantry, right? And it's just, and again, that's not to say that they don't use anything else, but maybe it's, some of them could be kind of role type focused, and you could have a percentage, regardless of how many, are able to just use or primary one troop type, and that's kind of what they're able to use. So it's almost kind of like if you're playing, I remember back when I was playing Age of Empires, we would have certain civilizations we would choose to kind of go off of special units, and then you would have at times, right, if you're kind of playing like these no rush games, right, just for fun for us, you would like prioritize 1 or 2 or a couple troops, and then you would basically micro them between the other groups and sets that are on the field. And so you would basically kind of be playing, you'd have like these multiple groups which are all countering each other, right? So you all have each other's counter depending on what you get sent. So it obviously takes a lot of micro at that point. But this is something that could be cool if it ends up playing a little bit more into that. We'll see. Field morale. Players can select one of their own legions to grant buffs to both their own legions and alliance legions surrounding them. Players can select one of their own legions to grant buffs to both. Oh, interesting. So almost kind of like you're having a field captain, right? Or like a buff captain, so to speak, on the field. Okay, that could be cool. So does that mean that unit might be more of a target focus? So you're gonna like think of it like a QB in football. Is that kind of like what we're thinking of here? Brand new season policies allowing you to formulate your own unique strategy. I do like how they are changing policies, but the thing with policies, I feel like, especially when it comes to the PvP side on buffs that you're getting for hospital caps, I guess it just feels like it's like, they're giving you a lot of buffs but they're lowering hospital caps or kind of reducing other areas. And to me, it just almost feels like when there wasn't those things, right? And there was this idea that you didn't have a cap, and they're kind of creating the cap so that you could incur more deads, on top of now you have the bastions that are incurring more deads. You have equal percentages when you're doing rallies on passes and cities now. It's just, it's obviously trending more to now we're trying to create things that are going to allow and affect more deads to be taken when we're not really seeing like incredibly long-lasting KVKs. I don't know. I just don't know if I agree with that right now at this state of the game. It just feels like it's too early. Nobody wants to be fighting for less than a week throughout an entire 55-day season. It's just incredibly disappointing, especially when you have some that are only able to fight for a couple days, right, depending on the KVKs you look at. Okay, championship predictions. Make predictions on the winning player and the server that will come from to win amazing rewards. Okay. So this is, number 2. The Paramount Championship is here. Players will represent, did I go way too far here? Okay, no, we are. Number 2. Paramount Championship is here. Share in the glory. Players will represent their entire server in the fight, and every member of the first and second place winners servers will receive glorious rewards. Okay, so this is something different. Is this Paramount Championship? Is this basically like Osiris League? Is that what we're thinking? Championship predictions. Make predictions on the winning player and server that will come from to win amazing rewards. See the event page for more information. This event will be launched in certain servers first. Okay, so is that kind of what we're thinking this is going to be? It kind of sounds like that. I guess we'll see. Do I like the idea of if they do something like that, they kind of make this betting type system where we're able to... One, I would obviously love to be able to see replays for this, of course, right, for commentary purposes. But being able to engage in these events and highlight the players, the alliances, the kingdoms, and also, I guess, doing some form of betting or additional level of engagement. Yeah, I think that's nice. Number 3, Festival of Revival event series. Each year to celebrate the revival of the Elven Queen and express, take part in 7-day series, amazing events. Okay, Revival Ball Machine. Okay, this is just like a standard seasonal event. Log in 7 days rewards, Alliance Quiz. Okay, Treasure Hunt, chance to encounter strange wonders, great heights. Amid countless trials, surpass your boundaries, ascend to the glory. Okay. Take 7-day series, exclusive, okay, name place. All right, that's okay. I mean, it's just a standard seasonal event. Smooth Route to Prosperity. New heroes. Okay, here we go. Added the legendary hero Danful, Infantry PvP tank. Okay, available from Lucky Spin, Wheel of Destiny. It would just be nice if they said available from Lucky Spin and Wheel of Destiny events for the first 30 or 60 days, and then we'll go to Gold Chest. That's what we need to start seeing from now on. It's got to be some kind of short time window, and then eventually they will get added in addition to their current level of access to Gold Chests. Added legendary hero Magro, Infantry Garrison Skill. Okay, really going hard with the infantries here. Available from Wheel of Destiny. Okay, also, once again, should say available from Wheel of Destiny and Strongest Lords event, right? And then once 30, 60 days, 90 days, whatever it may be, have passed, right, they will also be added to the gold chest. We're going to start saying this from now on for everything. Added the epic heroes Nairnin. Okay, one of those sounds better than the other. Infantry Gathering skill. Okay, nice. Does this mean we'll be able to have a full 5 Gathering March now? And it's an epic hero. Okay, and Tara, overall gathering support, can be summoned from the heroes page and obtained from gold and silver chests. So, okay. So these two will be able to get summoned from gold and silver chests. Okay, that's okay. I mean, they are epic heroes. They're not legendaries. You know, there is that. But is it nice that at least we're getting some more heroes put in there? Sure. Is it somewhat iffy that, you know, you're adding gathering heroes there and not more PvP heroes? Yeah, that's a big issue. I think that we need to start seeing more of the PvP heroes get added. And again, this is the thing that I think will take games and kingdom builders over the top, is that you add PvP gated heroes that are not accessible through something like a gold chest system after a certain period of time has elapsed, right? You don't take away from the area that you can still access them in, right? Whether that be a Wheel of Destiny, that's Strongest Lord, if that's dailies, etc., right? You add an additional area of access, which is gold and or silver chests. New artifact. Added the legendary artifact Shield of Sturdiness, Infantry PvP control. Okay. Available from Forge of Light, which is the Force. I mean, again, right? We'll add this to the compendium after a period of time has elapsed. New War Pet. Added new War Pet Moonbear, which can be captured in the field. Okay, nice. What does that mean? The moon? Are we thinking water? Are we thinking sustainability? Are we thinking fluidity? What type of skill? That, I mean, who knows at this point? We'll have to wait and see. Number 5, an even richer combat experience. What are we even doing? New season combat features. These features, oh, wow, here we go. These features will be added at the end of the season for servers who are already midway through the season, while pre-war servers will be able to see them immediately following the update. Alliance Siege Bastions. players can build alliance siege bastions to expand their alliance's territory and attack other alliance buildings, and can deploy their legions to garrison them. I'm going to be honest. I thought the alliance siege bastions already acted as a flag to expand your alliance territory, and they could already attack other alliance buildings, and you could deploy legions to So maybe someone will, I'm sure, correct me here. Or at least add on any additional context. I was already under the impression these things existed at the moment. Now maybe there was a limit on what type of buildings you could attack. Though, okay, I'll wait. I'll wait for someone to provide a more detailed response to the comments. Thank you for that ahead of time. Ossuary. Again, this is where you look at the end of season and you see what percentage of deads you're going to be getting back. Legions that die will be recorded in the ossuary, and a proportion of them will be revived. Deaths that occur in combat outside of the season map or between end of one season and the beginning of another are not included. Deaths that occur in combat outside. Oh, I see. So like it's in Home Kingdom or something like that. Okay. Oh, interesting. Wow. Okay, this is interesting. So now it almost feels like, and I'm just going to throw out just a random take here, but based on this, you could go into Home Kingdom, kill off troops, or between the end of one season and the beginning of another are not included. So that would be like your transition period in Home Kingdom. So if I'm reading this right, you technically could go back to Home Kingdom, kill off a bunch of troops, not get those back, which will also factor into lowering your individual player influence, which would lower your overall kingdom influence, meaning that you could use this to basically like do kind of what they do in Rock, where they'll kill off and create, delete a bunch of troops in order so they could lower their, you have to try to drop out of Imperium, right? And basically lower it so you could go from full to crowded in a sense, right? That is one thing you could probably do with this. Faster infantry, rally, and garrison combat. Increased speed of battle for infantry during rally and garrison melee combat. Though this will not change the result of combat or the number of wounded units, the proportion of damage on both sides will be increased, reducing the amount of attrition required. Other unit types will not be affected by this change. So this is kind of a fancy way of basically just saying that you are going to be, if you're increasing the speed of battle, that rallies and garrisons will clash with one another, you are going to take deads faster. You're going to take sev woundeds faster. And then battles, and then you're not going to have like these 3-day long rally and garrison battles, right? They'll probably finish a little bit quicker, and then maybe you can get to more of the open field combat a little bit sooner. That's kind of what I'm taking away from this. So that's at least how I view it in very simple terms. So I don't think that this just feels like a kind of a fancy-ish word, a little political type of approach to the wording there. That's just me. If you feel differently, let me know. Improved Alliance Siege Bastions. You cannot continue to build, upgrade, or repair Alliance buildings while they are under attack from Alliance Siege Bastions. Okay, that seems like a nice improvement because it makes sense, logically. Improved display of garrison information for Alliance Siege Bastions. You can now see the garrison's total unit count and corresponding unit types. Oh, that's nice. That seems like a nice visual aid. 3, shorten the contestation phase when occupying a Behemoth lair for the first time from 4 hours to 1 hour. Oh, wow, allowing you to more quickly access Behemoth Elite raids. Okay. I guess that means... Oh, I see. So basically, after you cap, I believe that's the period after you cap, and the window for contesting is shorter, so that way you can get to the elite rates faster. Okay, I mean, I think I'm okay with this. I don't see any like hard loss there. Again, if someone feels different, let me know. Number 4, you can now spend gems to purchase additional challenge attempts, beyond the 3 daily attempts in Tournament of Champions. Oh, Lord. Due to the increase in available daily attempts, we have changed corresponding score values for each class. Previously, 1,120, okay, stone, and now, okay, so they've raised scores? Now? Legendary 2, okay, wow. I guess you guys have to let me know. I haven't messed around with Tournament of Champions. It's basically Sunset Canyon from Rock, where you're battling it out in fixed instances. Again, I feel that it should be done in real time, and it shouldn't be this kind of like Pokemon style, you go, you go, you go, or I mean, technically, really, when you click star, everyone's going, but it's the person you're attacking. It's automated, right? It's just using their lineup. They're not actually controlling their units. This is, I think, an amazing opportunity that I hope they'll look at. And even if they just do it where it's like, yeah, you can do real-time fights on the weekends, in maybe it's just automated during the weekdays. Whatever they decide, I would love for this to become a real-time thing where you're queuing up for matches and even being, and it would even be dope just to even be able to like spectate some people's matches, right? Like that would just be a cool thing. And I'm sure it would be something that could also increase the streaming for the game too as well, because some people may consider streaming if they do Sunset Canyon and they're doing real-time matches against other players. And plus, if you add in things like being able to emoji in real time, maybe text in real time, like that could be a really cool thing. Maybe you highlight certain matches that you can watch. Like you could really turn something like this into a bigger thing. Again, as far as the scores, though, I will let someone else let me know what you think about the scores. As far as being able to make additional daily attempts through purchase of gems, I mean, it's just another avenue to spend it, right, at the end of the day. Which means that anyone who doesn't spend gems, which is probably more of your free-to-play low spend, is just not going to be able to maybe climb as high, so to speak, as someone else who has a lot more attempts. So, you know, however you feel about that. You can now pass through semi-protected passes, excuse me, owned by either your alliance or by your warband, without your alliance needing to occupy a behemoth lair in the same region. I think this is a great change, in my opinion, because one, you are now not going to, like, let's say you have some alliances that just are not strong enough to capture a behemoth, but they're strong enough to fight in the field, whether that's on the front line or in a supportive role. You're not limiting them by not being able to access it, the pass, just more effortlessly. So again, I think, at least from that one front, I think this is a nice change. Again, we'll see how it plays out. Hopefully it's not an entire disaster. And, we'll go from there. Number 6, an improved alliance system. 1, changed certain alliance member limit bonuses. Changed bonuses provided by alliance towers and home realms. Previously, again, I love the details. I love the specificity. I just wish that they would give more explanations on other certain changes that they're making. Like, why are you making the change? What are you seeing? What is the data showing? What's the feedback being provided on? Previously, every 10 alliance towers built increases member limit by 1. Now, every 5 alliance towers built increases limit by 1. This is nice. Changed bonuses provided by behemoths in home realms. Thunder Rock increases member limit by 1. And let me see here. Increases member... And this area, I want to point out, the 10 to 5 towers actually, I think, is massive, because just in one area, right, if you are looking at like a Season 1 in a home kingdom, where you're trying to get a lot of people in, one of the things that sometimes can deter players away from joining one alliance that they would like to, or being able to get people in sooner rather than later, is by doing that, you actually, I believe, factor, even if it's only a little bit, into kind of day-to-day playing experience and enjoyment and fulfillment that a player gets from being able to join an alliance a little bit quicker, not having to maybe be stuck where they are for too long. Those are things that can cause them to make other decisions. And so I think that this actually is a nice change. And I think it actually hits a couple other areas as well that would probably take me a while to really dive into and do a deep dive on. So we're not going to TED Talk that right now. Let's continue. Behemoths and home realms change bonuses. Thunder Rock increases member limit by 1, previously 3. Oh boy. Necrogiant increases member limit by 4, previously 3. Flame Dragon increases member limit by 15, previously 8. So this is what I'll say about this. Respectfully, I think they should just remove the member limit increases from behemoths. And why do I say this? Because if you have a kingdom that you want to be very healthy and it's very active, you're not going to have enough behemoths to go around to where you could increase and get max cap limits off on multiple alliances, especially if you're not killing off your kingdom incredibly fast early on through a number of unfortunate things that could happen that we often talk about. But if you're trying to keep the most amount of players playing the game, you want the least amount of attrition / player drop off. And the fact that if more people are playing the game and kingdoms are more highly populated and they're able to sustain high population for longer periods, that's more money that the game can make overall. This is one of those things that kind of creates this ladder climbing effect, even if it's not immediately seen by the player base in that kingdom, it just creates one of those things where it's something else that everyone has to kind of fight for, right? And can kind of pit alliances against each other, even if it may not look like it, or for some people it may not be the biggest thing. It is a thing. So for me, I actually would like to see them remove this and just allow for member limit increases to be done in other areas that are maybe more alliance internal and not as much external. Removed bonuses provided by Alliance core fortresses and Alliance towers in Season of Strife. In future, Alliance member limits will not be reduced after Season of Strife ends. I mean, that's great. This should obviously have been a thing from the beginning without a doubt. It is nice to see them acknowledge that. These changes will take effect immediately following the update. Alliance member limits will be changed accordingly. Changed Alliance siege tower attack range. Alliance siege towers can no longer attack cities outside of their current region. Okay. Can no longer attack cities outside of their current region. Oh, I see. So if somebody started in, if somebody started in Nivola, then and you are attacking each other in Hollandale, then you can't, the siege tower won't attack them, right? Because that's outside of their current region. Alliance siege towers can no longer attack cities outside of their current region. Oh no, maybe it's like across a pass or something like that. Maybe I'm reading this wrong. Change Alliance siege towers attack range. Alliance siege towers can no longer attack cities outside of their current region. I feel like I'm either reading this where it's the current region of the siege tower or the current region of the city. That's what I feel like it's for the city. Cities outside of their current region. So maybe it's the first one or the second one. Someone will let me know. I feel like I'm having a major brain fart here on the understanding of this, and I'm sure someone will simplify it for me. So thank you in advance. Fix an issue where players could gain over 20,000 member points per day for building alliance buildings in certain circumstances. I want to point this out. I like the fact that they address that. Okay, hey, there's a bug or something in the game, and you know what? We fixed it. Players can now view individual cooldown times for alliance skill vitality boost. That's nice. Okay, we're almost done. Number 7, a smoother route to prosperity. Improve the user experience for the exchange house. When new items on sale are refreshed, players can more easily obtain updated information. Okay, what does that mean? It would have been nice for a little bit more explanation there. Number 2, exchange house purchase limits are now defined by the level of your bazaar. The purchase limit at level 25 will be the same as the current purchase limit. Oh, wow. So now they're making it where it's going to scale. I mean, that feels like a nerf. Right? Why not just make it that way when it was coming out? Improved auto-gather feature. When your gathering legions are attacked, triggering the talent leeway and returning them to the city, their auto-gathering operation will end. Okay. So, but I guess there has to be a talent. Each auto-gathering operation can complete a maximum of 50 gathering tasks. The minimum count limit will be removed. Wow. Okay, this is interesting. Each auto-gathering operation can complete a maximum of 50 gathering tasks. Wow. So does that mean like your troop can go back to the same tile? Or your Legion March can go back to the same tile up to 50 times? Or does that mean that you can do, like, you'll gather something, like maybe you'll put it where it's going to gather, maybe you want this Legion to only gather mana, right? So is it just going to basically go back and forth? So if it drains an RSS tile on its first go, it'll come back and then go back out and just pick the closest mana tile and go back out to it. So it's more automated in that fashion. That'll be interesting to see. I think they have been testing this in some kingdoms, but I haven't gone to ask anyone about it. Other improvements. Added stories for new heroes. Danfil, Mongro, Tara, you can now initiate dialogues in your city. Okay. And obtain the emojis by increasing the trust level. The High King. Here we go. The High King can now revoke approval for migration applications. Interesting. Can now revoke approval for migration applications. So it'd be nice if there was a little bit more details there because, oh, I see. So it's like you approve them, but then they still have to like click the migrate button to come in. And you're saying you want to be able to have that option to revoke that. So like if they haven't clicked to migrate yet, you can, is that what that means? Because that's how I'm reading it. Okay. The High King will now see a red dot notification on the management screen when new migration applications have been received. Okay, that's nice. Improved display token for the token exchange store. When selecting tokens, you will now see the number of hero seals you will receive in exchange. Okay, if that's more of a visual aid, then okay, nice. Fixed an issue in Roots of War where rally and garrison legion capacity was erroneously doubled in Season 1. Oh, Lord. Okay, that seems like a nice fix. All right, and that's it. Remember, give feedback. Click the green button. You'll get some rewards within 5 days, right after the update comes out. What I will say is, just again, I always love the other improvements because I feel like this is the nicest area, or the area I find most interesting. One of the things that I hope they eventually add here is that the High King will just have overall abilities to approve and deny everyone, like just no matter what, everyone has to apply, right? And then when you apply, you need to have a resume card, and it says all the kingdoms you played in, the power you were at the time that you applied, the merits that you got for that season, maybe the kills that you had for that season, right? Like just a simple breakdown of your resume card on where you played, the alliances you were in. So that way, if people want to go in contact, because I'm telling you, I'm going to do a video on this most likely. This is becoming a thing, a very real thing now, where I've seen this happen in a number of kingdoms where players have been accepted. People did not do their due diligence and background checks on players, and they're in situations now where players are either going rogue, they're being toxic, they're not fitting the culture there and causing problems. It is a very real thing, right? Or people are trying to do hostile takeovers. Like it's wild, the stuff, right? And it's, even though it's not to say that you're always going to be able to absolutely eliminate that, we're really talking about minimization and being able to have a higher percentage chance of getting more quality people into your kingdom. So again, I still feel that this needs to be an absolute thing where every single player, regardless of power, you need to apply, and you need to be able to see a resume card, and everyone has to go through an accept deny system. Like that's the only way you're really going to be able to have more consistent quality migrants coming in that really believe in what you're looking at. It would also be nice if when people are applying as a High King, you could set some kind of decree that they could read that goes over like, here's the standards of the kingdom. Here's our goals of the kingdom. This is what our kingdom is about. This is how we manage. This is how we structure. This is how we share, etc. That would be dope. And then on top of that, it'd be cool if they had a little Discord link that you could post there so people could click on it, right? Or if you go into a kingdom and you click on the king decree, there would be a little Discord button, and you could link your kingdom Discord there, and anyone could click on it and join. Like, this is something I've seen in other games. We need to add these things in. These are fantastic additions. Okay, that's it for me. As far as what do I think about the update, are there some things that are interesting that we can look out for? Sure. I think the new Belleron season map could be interesting depending on what they do. The Paramount Championship, if that's Osiris League, that could be cool. Obviously, would have liked a little bit more. The hero thing, I don't know if how excited I really am for that, because like I said, I really want them to eventually add in something where all PvP heroes will eventually, in addition, get added to gold chest and or silver chest, depending. Yeah, the faster infantry garrison, I actually somewhat am okay with this. I just want to see actually how it's going to work. I don't know. Like, do I think some of these things... I will say I think the overall update is a little bit more of a W than an L, because I think some of the things are more neutral, if not slightly positive, right, to maybe medium-ish positive, than it is not. There are some things, though, that, like, again, the auto-gathering, I'm curious about and how that's going to work. Exchange House, that feels like a big nerf that we talked about. I mean, it's just a couple things, right? But I do like that they address some of the bugs as well. It's nice. I just wish there was some more explanations in areas where we had a little bit more insight on why they're doing certain things. That's my take. Again, overall, like nothing on here felt like there was, like the majority of this did not read as erroneous or just completely awful. Again, maybe some people have different takes on that, right? Again, we'll have to see how things play out once it goes into effect on the 13th. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. That's going to do it for me. As always, until next time, we'll catch you later.